Hi, I'm Dr. Boone. I'll be the lecture instructor for your microbiology class this summer, and I look forward to having you in my class. This is a brief introductory class video. I'm going to ask that you watch it in its entirety because this is going to be all the information on our deadlines, where you find materials, where you can find other resources, how to contact me, etc. All the things that you're going to need to be successful in this course. You will find that our lab is going to be taught by Professor Nicholas John Jacquet, and he will have information for you as well. So let's begin our introduction. I'm going to start you with a PowerPoint, and then we'll move over to a quick tour of the D2L course, and then we'll come back for a summary. So let's begin with our PowerPoint. So let's begin with a little bit about how to communicate with me, where to find my office, etc. So I do have an office at the Grand Strand campus in Building 200. Come in the front entrance. I'm just around the corner to the right in room 110. My email address is becky.boone@hgtc.edu, or you can give me a call at 843-349-5274. If I don't answer, please leave me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I do plan to hold office hours on Wednesday from 5 to 5:30 in my Grand Strand office, but I can always be reached by an appointment at convenient for you. Just give me a call or an email and we'll set that up. I can meet in person or I can meet virtually, whatever makes it easier for you to meet with me. When emailing me, I do prefer that you use my @hgtc email address. I will get back to you at a faster pace if you will use that one versus D2L, although I will check the D2L emails. A note for you as the students, please check your D2L email box and make sure you aren't near or at the limit for size. And go in and delete out any of those old emails that you don't need, so that if myself or your lab instructors trying to reach you through that D2L email, that you will be able to receive those communications. For attendance, as stated earlier, we do have lab and lecture as part of this course. To be counted for attendance in lecture, you must complete a lecture activity. Even if you've completed something for lab, I'm not going to be able to use that to say, yes, you were present in lecture that week. For lecture attendance, it has to be an academic activity. So a quiz, a checkpoint, a drop box. As long as you complete one item, you'll be considered in attendance for that week's lecture. Should you fail to log into the lecture and complete an activity for 2 weeks in a row, then you will be withdrawn from this course. Assignments for the lab are going to equal 25%, and you'll get that information from your lab instructor. For lecture, it's 75% of the total grade of the course, and it's going to be consistent of a cumulative final exam, your unit exams, and your weekly homework assignments. So let's talk just a little bit about those lecture assignments each week. Now, instead of giving one large assignment, I break things down into 2 and 3, 4 small chunks that should take you maybe 10 or 15 minutes each. That's going to include quizzes, what I call as checkpoints. Checkpoints are going to be short answers, fill in the blank, things like that. These are going to match very closely to what you find at the end of your lecture reading material in the chapters. You may also have a discussion board, and then every other week you have a lecture exam. So look for those. Those are, as when we walk through the course, you'll see where those are laid out to easily make it accessible. So for testing, in the summer, we have 5 unit exams and a final exams. The materials for the lecture exams come exclusively from the reading, the lecture materials that I provide to you through videos and PowerPoints, and through those quizzes and everything that you've done. So everything is available for the unit exams. The final exams will be cumulative, containing between chapters 1 and 11. Lecture exams will be given through D2L. You can use them by going into one of our testing centers if that's easier for you, and then they are password protected if you do that. The testing center staff will have all that information to help you log in, and you can take it online in our testing centers. Or if you would prefer to take it at home or a time that's more convenient than when our testing centers are open, you can use the HonorLock platform, which is a proctoring service. And in that taking that exam, it too will be going through D2L, but you'll log in through the HonorLock platform. Let me talk to you just a moment about how the test is set up. The test is set up where you'll be presented 5 questions at a time. These questions are randomized between students so that no 2 will be presented in the same order, but all questions are the same between the exams. So they are randomized. You get to see 5 at a time. And when you go through them, once you have answered all those 5, then you'll be able to move forward to save and move forward. Do not hit submit until you get to the very end of your exam. You are not going to be able to move back and forth, so you'll answer 5 and then move forward, answer 5 and move forward. The exam is proctored, so you will have to use again the testing center or honor lock. Assignment due dates. There's no makeup for an exams or quizzes or assignments. You must get those completed by the deadlines given in the class schedule, or they're also listed in the calendar in D2L. Late assignments will just be counted as 0. For the exams of this course, you have 5 lecture exams. I dropped the lowest exam grade instead of allowing makeups. So 4 out of those 5 will count. I still suggest that you take all 5 in case one of them you don't do as well, but it also helps you know those materials, learn those questions, because the fact that the final is going to be cumulative. Please know I do follow the student code of conduct. All course material, and when that means discussions, when you do things for lab, when you do things for lecture, everything must be in your own words or cited appropriately. Plagiarism is not acceptable in this class, and we will follow the college's guidelines on that. Get lots of questions these days about the new GAI, which is your generated text, ChatGPT. You may only use those if you've asked permission or if the assignment clearly states that it is allowed. If you ever use ChatGPT or another AI type of platform, you must cite it when you submit your work. For this course, the textbook is included in the D2L. You'll see that each and every week. You have PowerPoint, you have lab is going to be conducted virtually through the McGraw-Hill platform. You'll get a lot of information from your professor on that. Check in D2L for the course calendar and supplemental videos, etc. And we're going to walk through some of that material now in order to just show you how the course is laid out. So let's begin by pulling up the D2L course, and let me show you a few key points for this video. Okay, so here we are in your D2L course. Again, to get to this, you're just going to go to the HGTC portal, go to the D2L, pull it up, and then find your microbiology course. Now, this is one of the most important pages, is your home page, because on this page, your lab professor and I will do what we can to give you those weekly announcements, letting you know what you need to do to stay on target and to be able to complete all the materials. The other thing I'd like to point out for you on this homepage is here is where you have your calendar. And I've tried to put all the due dates in there for your quizzes and checkpoints and everything that's due each and every week so that you're able to know, what am I supposed to do this week to stay on top of things. So let's go to the content tab. Now, one of the things I'm going to tell you is that for the content tab, you're not going to be able to see everything I'm showing you. I'm showing it this way so you know what you should see once you have completed an orientation quiz. So if I come over here to the content tab, the first thing that you're going to see is this getting started. And that getting started is that folder or module that you should have available to you the moment the course starts. Through this, what I want you to do is go through and open up all these documents. So the instructional package, the info sheet that tells you a little bit more about myself, the rules for taking exams, for the attendance policies, etc. It's going to give you the lecture exam schedule. It's going to give you that intro PowerPoint that we have gone through in this, a little bit about how to use honor lock proctoring service. And then once you've gone through all those materials, then you need to come in and take this policy and attendance verification quiz. Until you take that quiz, which goes through, I think it's 13 or 14 questions, and then it's going to verify that you have picked up on all the key points about due dates and honor lock and things along those lines. Once you scored 100% on that quiz, then the course materials will open, and then you'll be able to come over here and start seeing your lecture materials. When you open your lecture materials, each week is going to start with a little introduction, and then it's going to give you the required materials. So this is going to have the textbook, It's going to have your PowerPoint. It's going to have your video lectures from me. It's also going to have the assignment. So there's this assignment tab where I've put all of your assignments, your checkpoints, your quizzes, and everything is there. One of the things I want to point out is let's pull up here for just a minute, chapter 1, for instance. If you look through your chapter, it is an OER textbook, so everything is provided to you here. As you go through, there's going to be a little bit of introduction, but you'll see things here that say like checkpoints. These checkpoints you can complete by printing this on your own or whatever, but they are part of the D2L assignments. They may not be set up exactly as you see in the lecture book because of a little bit and some limitations on how D2L allows you to submit answers, but those concepts are what you will find in that section for the assignment in D2L that says checkpoint chapter 1. It will have all of these checkpoints in there for that unit. Okay, so let's go back here for just a minute. Other key points to point out to you is that in your assignment tabs, you will have discussions, you have Dropbox, and you have quizzes. So please make sure that you're keeping up with all of those. And again, the key is to be keeping up with everything on a weekly basis. There's lots of assignments due each and every week. Okay, so going back into the content tab, I want to take you back through one other piece. So on this, you will see that this is back into getting started. One of the pieces I want you to pay close attention to is the lecture schedule. There's a lot due each and every week. Please note, I may change due dates or change order just a little bit in order to help the class keep up with if we need to repeat something, etc. So this may change. I will notify you should I change a date or an assignment. So, but here, notice you have to have your orientation quiz, and then Unit 1 will be completed through the first 2 weeks. So assignments will open for Unit 1, but pace yourself because by Sunday 2, Exam 1 over Chapter 1, 2, and 3 is also due. So you have the assignments here, all 5 assignments will open. You just need to pace yourself, make sure you get everything turned in, and then leave yourself enough time to take that exam. Please read over the exam rules and regulations for taking Honor Lock. Exams are for in the testing center. The Honor Lock testing must be done where you cannot wear like shaded glasses or hats, etc., because it is a proctored exam, and those rules are put in place so that the proctor who's watching knows for sure that they can see you in their field of view and that they know that you are looking at your screen. So with that, let's go back and we will conclude our discussion. So that concludes our information for the course. Again, I can't stress it enough, to be successful, you've got to stay on top of the assignments and when they are due. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I do realize it is an online course, and I'll be willing to work with you on arranging a time to meet virtually or in person or talk by the phone that's convenient with you. So with that, let's have a great summer semester, and I look forward to having you in class.